Hey everyone, it's Vicki with the Lavinia World Design Team, and I wanted to show you guys how you can make simple backgrounds by using a stencil and their silhouette stamps. We're going to make an A2 size card. We're going to use 4 colors of ink, plus we'll use the VersaFine Clair Nocturne, which is the black. We are then going to use 4 stamps. We're going to use the Snow Shrub, we're going to use the Wildflower, we're going to use one of the Hares, and we're going to use Finn. And I'll have links to all of the stamps in the description of this. But if you have any questions at the end, shoot me a quick message and I will respond to you as quickly as I can. So let's get started. I've already got the stencil taped down with my piece of paper underneath of it, just to help us save a little bit of time. And I've also got Finn and the Hare set up on my stamping platform, ready to go for us. So we're going to start first by using the green. And I'm actually using the Stays On Green, Cactus Green is what that's called. And it's just a super bright green, but not quite fluorescent as it looks on the tag here. So we're going to start with that. And I'm going to use the blending brushes like I almost always do. I'm going to turn this around since we're going to work upside down for you. And like I've mentioned before, we're going to start off the paper so we don't get a harsh rubbing there on the corners or edges of our paper as we apply the color. And I'm just going to gently massage the ink into the paper. You can go as high or low as you want to. Depending on the colors you use, they should blend together to kind of give you a seamless effect. So I've started with that Stays On Cactus Green on the bottom, and we're going to be done with that color. So I'm going to move it to the side, and then I'm going to use the Archival Ink Sunflower. This is a pretty true yellow, and it blends really well with the green, so we're going to get an even, smooth transition. Again, I'm off the paper, and I'm just gently rubbing the ink into my paper. I quite often use the Bristol Smooth watercolor paper because I like the way it really soaks up the ink that you apply. Makes it, or it kind of forces you to not be quite so heavy-handed because it absorbs so quickly, and it'll save you a little bit, as do using the blending brushes. So I've got my yellow down, and we're going to put that away, and we're actually going to get quite a few more colors in our stencil here because of the way we're blending. The next one is again the Archival, but this time we're using the Fuchsia. And because we're going to blend up from the yellow, we're actually going to get a melony orange color that's going to just add another color in for us into our kind of rainbow here. And I apologize that the camera's shaking. I've tried not to rub so hard. And lighter on the top. We are done with the pink. This is a super fast card, and this is a great one to do with kids because they love to play with stencils. And the last color that we're going to use, I didn't hold that up for you, I'm sorry, is the Paradise Teal color from Archivals. And it's a true teal color, and when you blend it with the pink, you're going to get a really nice shade of purple, which will kind of balance out all of our rainbow colors. So again, I'm off the edge here, and I'm just going to blend it all the way down just a little bit because we want a little bit of purple on our pink, and I'm going to finish off the corners. And you could go back and make this as dark as you wanted to. This would even be a great project using the distress inks and you know, and then flicking a little water to give it even more dimension. So we're done with all of the colors that we're going to use, and now we are going to stamp, go to our black, which is going to, I'm just going to move this out of the way, leave that there. And let's get us a clean sheet of paper so you can see exactly what I'm working on. So you can see now we've got, by using just the 4 colors, we actually ended up with 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 colors in there because we've blended some. And this, I don't even remember where I got this stencil, but it's a great one to use with the fairies. So I've already lined up Finn and the hare on my card to save a little more time. So I'm going to try to do this backwards. And I did ink up, so you'll see they're here. I use my Hares a lot, so he's stained with a whole bunch of love there. But I did re-ink my VersaFine Claire, so I'm hoping that we can get this with just 1 or 2 presses. And like I've told you before, a little tip with the silhouette stamps is that after the first couple presses, save your energy, save your frustrations, and get yourself a black Sharpie marker or any kind of a black marker that is going to work well with whatever ink medium that you're using, and fill in just the empty spaces. But I'm hoping that having applied the ink or the re-inker to this is not going to require us to press too much. So let's take a look. Awesome. I'm actually going to pull this off to the side for a minute so I can really ink it up and knock this out super quick for you so we can move on to the next stamps and complete our card. All right, so this is our second press, and it looks pretty good. And I'm not going to go back in with the third one. I'll leave my stamps on here because I do want to probably give her a third. But just to show you kind of what I'm talking about, if you take your Sharpie marker, I use the Pro, which is kind of a big one, allows me to use the tip where I need to. But you can see I just go fill in this little spots that kind of get missed when the ink doesn't lay completely on the card. And again, because this is watercolor paper, it does soak the ink up. So had I let her sit there maybe a second longer, it probably would have been better. So let's just move this off to the side as well. Now all we're going to do is really just add a little extra oomph to our card. And so I've chosen to use the Snow Shrub, which I like. You can kind of see that here. It's just solid bubbles. Can you see that? I'll lay it on the paper. But you'll be able to see that when I ink up. And I'm just going to put it across the top here just to give a little extra to the card. And it's really going to make Finn's and the hare stand out on our card. And you can bring them down as low as you'd like. I kind of mix them up because you really want it to look like you're looking in. And that's what I like about when I use the stencils with the silhouette stamps, is that it gives it such depth. I love when the ink pad's nice and wet. It's such a crisp image. And I'm just going to put a little bit more here. Okay. So we're done with the Snow Shrub. So that was super fast. So I'm just going to switch out the Snow Shrub on my block here and use the Wildflower Stamp. And this one we're just going to put a few at the bottom because we want, again, we want them standing in a little field here. And I'm just going to stamp at the bottom. There's no rhyme or reasons with the stamps when you're making a scene like this. You can make them tall, you could do them all the same at the bottom, but I just wanted the effect. They looked a little lonely down there at the bottom with just the first couple of stamps. I feel like my hands are in the way today. Now, one of the things that I do with the wildflowers with a lot of my cards is I go back with Nuvo drops or a little craft paint, and I'll add the little spots on them, especially on my darker scenes. Kind of looks like the stamps are a little bit alive, maybe. It's kind of fun. And that's it. That's literally all it takes. Just adding that on there. And again, we're going to use an A2 card. So I've already got a black base card prepped, and you'll notice as we get more friendly with each other and get to know each other that I almost always use a black base. I just like the way it kind of frames my card. But I'm going to add this onto the card, and it's done. It's a super fast, super easy card, and you get such great color. And that's it. Our card's all done. I'll add a sentiment onto it on the inside, and I'll get this in the mail to, I don't know, to somebody, and maybe it's a birthday wish or it's just a note. Anyway, I hope you had fun and you got another idea to use some of your stencils that you probably have hidden. Have a great day, and if you have any questions or comments, please be sure to leave them. And don't forget to join our special group on Facebook, Lavinia World, or anything Lavinia is the group page. We do exchanges, and we have a lot of fun. Thanks, and have a great day.